Hello everyone, Kelley is here to rank some Nioh 1 bosses. If you're wondering why as a brand new YouTuber, I'm making a ranking video of a game 7 years after its release, then I don't know either. I just finished the game and want to finally make a video again. Anyways, if you like this video, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you don't miss out on the eventual Nioh 2 bosses ranking. This ranking will include only the main story bosses and will be based on gameplay, not difficulty, lore and design. And what else? Yeah, this is entirely my opinion, so you might find something you don't like. If you think a boss is somewhere it shouldn't be, then let me know in the comments. Let's get started. Number 33. Gasha-Dokuro. It's literally just a pile of bones. And it's not really a boss, more like a puzzle. I have no issues with that, but its hellbar is so goddamn big. If you are going to make a fight tedious, at least make the boss fragile. Aside from Tenkai's baddest scene and the fact that Hattori is actually doing something, nothing is memorable from this encounter. And these are not even about the boss at all. Although it actually being a part of the map was unique, no other aspect of it can help it rise from the bottom. Number 32. Honda Tadakatsu. At my first try I went in and destroyed the crystal, so it was not much of a fight, but in the second try I was simply disappointed. I tried to actually fight the guy and what do you know? He constantly heals because of the said crystals. The game is practically begging you to destroy those. He's not at rock bottom only because his fight is not tedious. Also his bland design and uninteresting lore doesn't help. Number 31. Umi-Bozu. Another tedious fight. Bland design and does what an average yokai does. Now don't tell me the source material is kinda boring and that's why the design is not cool, because Nioh 2's Umi-Nyodo is quite well designed. Although lighting the temple's bait is cool and it has a good enough second phase, getting to it is so annoying that I don't even want to remember this fight. Number 30. Onryoki. Oh my god, this guy should not be your first boss. Once you get his attacks down, sure he's easy enough, but like the others before, it becomes very tedious. Its second phase is okay, except the balls. And why does he have his massive balls again? I understand the raging and agonizing souls massing together part, but what does that have to do with the gigantic iron balls? The balls have greater homing power than like Yondu's arrow or something. The design is painfully mediocre as well, just seems like a buffed up regular Oni. Number 29. Derrick the Executioner. I actually like Derrick, well, not as a human being of course, but his human design is quite good. Too bad his Oni form is just a regular Yoki but a little bigger. When I first checked his directory at the start of the game and saw an unrevealed section in his bio, I was hoping he would come back in the final mission. Well, he did, but he's just lurking there. He could have been a nice prerequisite boss before the final boss. Anyways, he's far too easy to be taken seriously. Like, who'd die in this fight, right? Yeah. Number 28. The Great Centipede. Surprisingly, has a detailed logical origin story. In short, an ancient centipede spirit took some poisonous rocks and made them his body. It looks great as well. Reminds me of the Elder Centipede and I love that design. But the problem again is the fight. I do not like environment gimmicks to begin with, so a little bias here, but this gimmick gets resetted. Okay, that's the issue. And why are all these tedious bosses so beefy? Plus, somehow it can go through his behind and do a 180 with his body instantly. Confusing his opponents, That's correct. Number 27, Ogress. So she is Tokugawa Ieyasu's wife, resurrected by my arch nemesis, Kelley. Apparently she and his son Nobuyasu were killed by Tokugawa to protect his honor and to show loyalty to Nobunaga. Kind of a bland design, but what is with that neck, like, lady? But besides the, mediocrity, what drops this boss down so low is that even if I really don't want to, I have to stay at her behind like 95% of the fight. And since she's a big boss, it obviously looks at the camera. Number 26, White Tiger. Okay, so obviously playing it after 7 years of its release, I am not connected to the community of Nioh, and I really doubt if it's bustling. But does anyone actually like this cat? Yeah, sure, he sacrificed himself, but I was genuinely relieved when I thought he was gone for good, and that stays all throughout the DLC. Anyways, the White Tiger is too simple of a fight and looks kinda off. Although it does make you wonder where the other 3 directional beasts are. Number 25, Onmoraki. Somehow has a very detailed design, which I'm a sucker for. It was born from dead bodies which did not have proper funeral rites, but its bio has more about battle priest than itself. It is also the only other boss that shows up throughout the mission, albeit very annoyingly, but does give off an impression at least. His boss fight is also simply okay. To sum it up, Onmoraki rightfully belongs in the middle of the pack. Number 24, Ishida Mitsunari. I really do not like Ishida as a character nor as a boss. While his 2 generals, Otani and Sakon, are such strong characters, you would expect their leader would also at least be equally great, if not more. But nah, he's just a loyalist to Toyotomi Hideyori. His design is also so very bland, and getting betrayed by Kelley that way speaks volumes. The fight is okay enough to land him here. Number 23, Tachibana Muneshige. First of all, Ginchu is far more interesting. And secondly, Kelley sucks at impersonating. If you really want to fight Muneshige, do the side mission. The main mission fight is a way watered down version of that one. So, yeah. Number 22, Okatsu. I think Okatsu has wasted potential. If instead of being mind-controlled, Okatsu actually went against William for supporting Ieyasu, then she would have made a far more interesting character. Also, she looks like a literal teenager, right? And the story beats also kinda implied that. So when I saw William trying to kiss her and eventually marry her and have a kid, I was like, bro, nah, she is quite old. Historically at least. Oh yeah, historically she was Ieyasu's concubine, not daughter. This is why I'm not considering historical inspirations at all. Just what's in the game. Again, the fight is okay enough. Telegraphed but deadly attacks and can actually run out of stamina unlike some human bosses ahead, which is more than fine. Also the perfect decision to use that part of the theme here. Number 21, Yamata-no-Orochi. And yes, the final boss. Why is it in almost every game when they try to make a giant spectacle of a boss, it always turns out to be disappointing? The premise is very cool, the design is great, although I think along with the horns, the different heads' body colors could have been slightly changed with its corresponding elements. If only the fights were being ranked, this Japanese Hydra would be bottom 5, no question. Like, this boss is not even difficult or strong, but it just won't let me touch it. I just want to thank whoever made the decision to put up invisible walls here, because you just know that these walls were not there at first. Number 20, Obsidian Samurai. A very interesting character, of course, but his fight feels like you are just fighting a regular guy with an axe, with added moves and a guardian spirit. This very human problem becomes more apparent in the sequel, but the human bosses in the game somehow feels boss-like. Not Yasuke though, but his armor is quite fitting. Number 19, Edward Kelley. Our arch nemesis. The twist of Kelley being a homunculus or homunculi made up by John Dee was interesting, but if this Kelley was indeed the original, and instead of being a servant was a co-conspirator of Dee, the twist of seeing multiple Kelleys would have been far more shocking. Also, his design is quite sick, really rocking with the alchemy core. But sadly his fight is, well, disappointing. He's just a one-trick pony, like dudes, stop. Other than that attack, no other moves really pose a challenge, and as our mortal enemy he really should have. What could have been done is him using Shasha as a guardian spirit. Number 18, Sanada Yukimura. I dislike this guy's fight so much. Him being an interesting character and actually having a good sense of Japanese honor, sorry if I offended, are the only things putting him this high. If he actually was useful in the final fight, perhaps he would have been a little higher. I'm just constantly on fire in his fight, just like, stop bro, use your father-in-law's powers more. Number 17, Joro-Gumo. Teapot fetish. I have been on the internet for many years, but I should have seen this coming, really. You're a weird guy, decided this. Regardless, the fight is okay, the lore is weirdly okay, and Joro-Gumo is just your typical hot half-spider lady, so in the middle she goes. Number 16, 100 Eyes. The real final boss. Not really. It is the DLCs. As I said before, a nice twist. John Dee transitioning into this monster is very logical as well, but the design is gross, in a bad way. A 100-eyed creature could have been done way more gracefully, which would be befitting of John Dee. Plus, his human side is designed quite well. Although the fight is good enough, it is also too easy for the final fight. John Dee as a human should have had a fight using alchemy that in the second phase this dude. Plus, in his bio it is said he can perceive any attacks and dodge that even an army cannot cut him. Where is this scene? Number 15, Toyotomi Hideyori. My supposed son. If you played Nioh 2, you know what I mean, but yeah, allegedly he's not really Hideyoshi's son, which makes sense as, you know, Hideyoshi killed his mother's parents, both her parents, indirectly. This fight is okay. The sudden shift to a yokai fight was cool. The design is pretty decent, but nothing extraordinary in any part. Number 14, Nioh. Excellent yokai design, one of my top ones. Although it would have been nice if his weak point was not under his belly. This fight could have been fun, but striking at that said weak point makes Nioh to summon 2 insta-kill lightning bolts around him, which is, well, not very nice of it. Number 13, Giant Toad. Really cool. Plus that he's Hattori's father makes it more interesting. And a ninja frog. Where have I seen that before? Still, it is never clarified why a master ninja, cited as literally the Oni Hanzo, mind you, would turn into a giant toad. But him not only smoking a giant pipe but using it to beat us down is badass enough in my books. Number 12. Hino-Enma. A genuine question. Was the opposite to a necrophile? And I'm talking about being the unalive person here. I swear someone out there has thought about being said unalive person if Hino-Enma was the necrophiliac in question. No, not me. I prefer being alive when... anyways, her fight is really balanced. Every single attack of her is heavily telegraphed. Even when paralyzing you, she walks up quite slowly. But her lore is confusing to me. She should have been someone like who committed die because she was called ugly or a fading beauty. And not just some rando who was slain mistakenly. Number 11. Date Shigezane. I don't like the fight that much, but his story and design makes up for it. How come one game has 2 Centipede bosses and both of them are excellently designed? I don't know. Number 10. Nine-Tailed Fox. The actual final fight of the game. As I said before, the fight would have been more enjoyable if Yukimura was actually useful. Besides that, the tails obscure your view and for some reason a nine-tailed fox doesn't have magic attacks. Although I appreciate that a nine-tailed fox enemy / character is some beautiful lady or creature. I mean she is, but not in a fight. It looks horrendously beautiful. Plus that laugh is so fitting. And of course the perfect boss and the perfect time to use the theme. Number 9. Katakura Shigenaga. Surprisingly, he might have the biggest lore dump out of all the bosses, all the characters even, including William. The fight is fun as well because of his character, and even if you don't clear out the surrounding rooms, the incoming badges are very generous. It is really hard to get hit. Number 8. Date Masamune. Like his cousin Shigezane, not a fan of the fight either, but lore and design holds him up as well. The one-eyed dragon moniker is obviously very cool and he holds up his name in the fight, albeit quite annoyingly. Also love that they did not make him use the space stones or make Maria betray him and make him a yokai. That really would not have worked. Again for the 10th time or something. Number 7. Saika Magoichi. I think many players hate him, but just look at him, he looks so cool. His fight is an excellent mash of ranged and melee attacks, but the fire, as usual, is annoying. In lore, he's so badass that he forced Nobunaga to utilize his rifling strategies. I like him from all aspects really. Without the fire and more involvement in the lore, he could have been higher. Number 6. Yuki-Onna. From Saika, every boss is balanced. In my eyes, has an engaging lore and has excellent design. Yuki-Onna is of course no exception. Stellar design, looks different from your typical Yuki-Onna illustrations. And she is the wife of Oda Nobunaga, no Hime. She wasn't just known for that. She herself was a fighter and a formidable character, not unlike Nobunaga. And I suppose many people like her for other reasons. Number 5. Shima Sakon. Unlike Ishida, his 2 journals are very high in this list. Shima Sakon's history is quite interesting, but I thought they'd do more with him after that cutscene, not just have him on a side mission. Even if it would not have been historically accurate, maybe throw him in the siege of Osaka as a revenant or something. Anyways, even without proper closure, Shima Sakon holds himself up quite well. His design is not just another old man, and his fight is not just another dude with a spear, rightfully placing him in the top 5. Number 4. Otani Yoshitsugu, another general of Ishida. Although the fight is great enough to hold its own, I believe there is a missed opportunity here. See, unlike other humans turned yokai, Otani himself decided to become one. This really should have been a cutscene with a two-face fight with him, but he gets the pass. His human body is literally too sick to move. Even then, both his human and yokai designs are great, although you could do some colors in his yokai form. By the way, historically he looked like this. Good that they didn't take that route. Plus, he has a cute moth gal spirit. That's nice. Number 3. Maria. The top 3 all are somehow human bosses. And the best a pure yokai could do is at number 10, huh? Anyways, what can I say about Maria? She is the driving force behind all of the 3 DLC packs, and even the sequel's last portion. I love it when a counterpart to the main character appears in the story. She might seem like Kelley, but she really is the Spanish counterpart to William. Remember, William also once hunted the Spirit Stones, and Maria only wants those in retaliation. Her design is also nice. I don't know if real life Spaniards just like this back then, but I hope that they did. Although her name could have been a little different to cement her to be more memorable, because another Lady Maria exists. I always said Lady even to this Maria because of that. Her fight is difficult, but I did not see any complaints about it in some YouTube videos here and there, and rightfully so. Her fight is properly balanced, as you should be skilled enough to fight her at this point. It was close between the top 3, but the other 2 just did a little better. Number 2. Oda Nobunaga. That badass cutscene is enough to put him in the top 10. You can feel his overarching presence throughout the whole game. And I'm glad that we actually got to fight him, not Kelley impersonating him like it was implied in the opening cutscene, because the fight is simply brilliant. He uses all elemental attacks, but always gives an opportunity for us when transitioning between the elements, and fighting him truly feels like you're fighting a legend. He could have been number 1, but even though his design is near perfect, I feel like his voice is too off. And number 1. Sarutobi Sasuke. This is what an edgy ninja should look like. I do not know why there is not that craze over this design. It's more than perfect. Excellently encapsulates his edginess, badassery and loyalty. And love the tone. Fighting him feels like I'm actually fighting a mythical ninja. Take the L, Hattori. And all of his gadgets choices are also top notch. And that grab, chef's kiss. And he ultimately goes down with grace to save his master and friend's honor. So that's it for the list. I hope to make more ranking videos in the future. A new to boss ranking is coming soon. I plan to do yokai designs too, they are really quite well done. Other than that, I'll do other Souls-like and Soulsborne rankings of course, rankings from other video games and even rankings from anime. So if you would like to see such videos, like, subscribe and hit that bell. Thanks for watching till the end and comment down your thoughts below.